Hello everyone! In my last video I showed you how to draw a cute hula girl, and in this follow-up video I'm going to show you how to color her in. To begin with, I'm coloring her skin tone, and as I explained in the last video, she's Polynesian, so I've picked out a kind of a light tan color. You'll notice throughout the whole video that I'm coloring from left to right, top to bottom. This is so I don't accidentally rub the wet ink, and if you're left-handed you'd be going the opposite direction. You'd be going from right to left. I'm using colored markers because it's just easiest for me right now, and this is a good set, but sometimes using a softer medium such as colored pencil or crayon can be more effective for coloring in skin. And it's really up to you. Play around with different mediums and see what you like best. You'll notice I'm not rushing the coloring. I want to make sure I get inside all those little lines and crevices. I prefer to start with the skin tone because it tends to be the lightest part of the whole drawing, and that way it doesn't accidentally bleed into the other colors that I'll be adding into the drawing later. It's easier to go from light to dark than from dark to light. There we go. I'm finishing her little toe. All done. Next I'm going to color in her hula skirt and her little crown and all the little grass that's on her wrists and ankles. I've chosen a bright lime green. It's very festive and tropical, and I'm keeping it simple. I'm going to be coloring that same color for all of the grassy stuff. If you want, you can do different shades of green. Like maybe you could do kind of a yellow green color for the crown, and then maybe a dark green for the wrists and ankles. And the color scheme I've picked out is going to be bright tropical colors, kind of citrusy. If you want, you can use darker greens with cooler colors. And as I'm coloring in the grasses, you'll notice that I'm going vertically, but I'm also going almost like I'm coloring in the actual grass. Like the strokes of marker kind of represents the individual strands of grass. This looks better than, say, just coloring it horizontally. It looks a little bit more believable. So that's something to keep in mind when you are coloring with colored markers. You will have kind of a residual texture left behind by the markers, so kind of like when you're painting on wood, you go with the grain. You do the same thing with colored markers. Pretend like you're painting on the grain. Every stroke matters. Next, I'm going to color in her top, and I've picked a bright citrusy yellow. Very festive. And next I'm going to color in the flowers that she has around her waist in pink. I went ahead and watched several different hula dancers on YouTube, and I wanted to get an idea of what kind of costume, colors I should pick, and there's so many to choose from. So like I said, you could do some different cool tones. You could go online and look up the different images that are available, or you could just make up your own. Next I'm going to color in her hair and her eyes, and for this I'm just using a dark brown. You could use dark brown or black since she's Polynesian, she's going to have very dark hair. Or if you want to do a lighter skin model, you could do a brown hair or even blonde. It's really whatever you want her to look like. And you'll notice that I'm defining the outlines before I color in. This is to make sure I don't accidentally, color over the lines. And I'm also, just like the hula skirt, I'm coloring in the same motion as the hair. As I said, strokes matter. They will show. Now I really like the dark hair in this case because it's helping those bright colors pop and become more visible. That contrast looks really good. She's almost done. I've decided, just for fun, to add a few little movement lines here so we can get a sense of that swaying and waving around that hula dancers do. Anywho, that's how you can color your hula girl, and I had a lot of fun coloring it. I hope you had fun watching it. And remember, you can has draw.